evening. Welcome to the Welcome to the February 25th, 2025. I want spring. Meeting of Pequannock Township Council. Ms. Marsh.
In accordance with the requirements of New Jersey's Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting was included in the annual meeting notice, which was filed in the office of the Township Clerk, posted on the bulletin board of the municipal building, published as a legal notice in the Suburban Trends and Daily Record newspapers, and distributed to all persons requesting notice in accordance with Township policy.
Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a prayer and a moment of silence, and thanks for the individuals serving our nation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Most gracious Providence, we ask that you bless this governing body with an abundance of wisdom and understanding so that every deliberation will result in actions which will promote the common good and the general welfare for all of the people of Pequannock Township. Amen.
Amen.
The clerk will please call the roll.
Mrs. Florence Lynch?
Here.
Mr. Cole?
Here.
Mrs. Russell? Here. Mr. Syracuse?
Here.
Mr. Mayor Dracy?
Here. Number 5 on the agenda, there are no presentations scheduled for this evening. Number 6, reports from volunteers. At this time, is there any reports or comments from any of the volunteers serving our community? Yes, Mr. Peter. Come on down.
Good evening. My name is Peter Schmidt. I speak on behalf of the Economic Development Advisory Committee. And we decided in the committee to propose to put the business application process on a web page to make it easier for businesses to go through their application process here in this community. We had already a meeting with the township manager and Tamara Bross in initial meeting, and she generated a report. We discussed one of the main application forms, zoning permit, and what I should report on is that there is an initiative. We are getting started. We looked already at the report. It's already very interesting. I don't know, it looks from the report that half of the permits are decided and issued within 2 days. I was really surprised seeing that. Am I right?
That's good.
That's what the report says.
I don't have it in front of me, but
Yeah.
trust your word.
There were 5 or 6 that took longer than 16 days. So I think beyond creating a web page that might help businesses, I think we could go for more goals, namely finding opportunities. Yeah, understanding why can it be that it is done in 2 days? Can we just generalize that and become better and use some of this information to tout this community as very business friendly? I think there is lots of opportunities. So this is the beginning of this endeavor project, and we follow up a little bit more regularly, and hopefully we find some opportunities for this community. That's what I wanted to report on. Okay?
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
Peter, thank you.
Pleasure.
Thanks for your hard work.
Thank you. Any other volunteers? Seeing none, we'll move on to public comment. The next item on the agenda is public comments. This comment period will be limited to a total of 30 minutes. Additional time is reserved later in the meeting. We welcome comments, suggestions, and questions during the period. However, the purpose of this is to allow public comment and not to engage in dialogue. If you have a specific question, please feel free to pose it, and then follow up with staff via telephone or email. Comments are limited to 3 minutes, please. If anyone wishes to address the council, please wait to be recognized and come to the microphone and provide your name for the record. Yes, come on up.
Matt Ringen. We don't have to provide our address anymore, right? Correct?
Correct.
Okay, you could probably make some assumptions of why I'm here, but 2 reasons. And the first one, June 11th last year, 2024, you guys reported out that you received a grant for $60,000, I believe it was $60,000. I believe Mayor Hurd shared it. for the lights, to be able to turn on lights. Just looking for an update on that. I know that sometimes that process takes time, but just want to put that back on your radar. Additionally, so I wanted to come here today because something's been on my mind, and this is, don't take this the wrong way at all. I'm just here to speak. I know, John, you were involved in Little League for quite some time. I know Mr. Cole, you were as well, and I've seen you all at our parades and thrown out first pitches. So if you don't know, Matt Ree and I represent our Little League. I am the president and board member currently this year. We are a nonprofit league that has been in the community for over 70 years, servicing the children and families of this community, operated solely on volunteers. Our board in this community is very lucky to not only have the support of this council, but support of local families and businesses. Each year is our goal to make sure we operate in an environment to promote development, friendship, and most importantly, fun for our boys and girls. Currently, our league has an enrollment of 280 boys. That's actually 283 since I wrote this, and over 190 girls, which is our highest numbers in years. So we're thrilled about the progress we're making within the community. Our goal is to reach 500 kids, and we are very close. With that being said, we are currently the only outdoor sport in this town that does not have access to a turf facility. All other sports, lacrosse, soccer, football, field hockey, even the band have the luxury of playing at our local high school and never truly impacted by rain, forcing their games to be canceled. And while our community is very lucky to have towns that are maintained by the DPW, we are in a position like a business where we're always trying to innovate, always looking at new ways to improve and expand our offering to the community. Several surrounding towns in the area have been fortunate to add state-of-the-art baseball and softball facilities through town funds. Passaic, I know, is a little bit different with open space funds. Me and Mr. Brewer have had that conversation in the past. Communities like Lincoln Park, Wayne, Two Fields, Little Falls, East Hanover, Parsippany, Cedar Grove, Two Fields have been very fortunate enough to have those fields added, and rain or shine, they play their games. And if there is a rain out, or if there is a rain where there's delayed, they can immediately get back on those fields. With over 55 teams in our league this year, when we have a rain out, it shuts down everything. Now, I'm not here today with a can in my hand looking for money, but I do want to bring it to your attention. I know it has been in the budget in the past. I understand there are priorities, and you guys do manage that budget. Totally respect that process. But it is something that I will continue to be here. I made a pledge to the community in a recent general membership meeting that this is something that I would like to pursue with the town and partner with the town in order to do so. For those of you who don't know, we did get initial prices to implement a just turf infield at Washington Park 1. We received the price in 2023, which I think, Mr. Brewer, you may have seen, and when we initially had a discussion, of $230,000 for just the infield. I understand that that is a hefty number. I do also recognize that Hillview has been discussed as a location for turf. To put Hillview turf would probably be 10 times the number we're requesting for Washington Park 1. I would ask that you consider this as well. There's many different factors. Our DPW is at Washington Park probably every single day, lining those fields. The time saved on weekends, weekdays and weekends and overtime could ultimately result in some financial gain back to the town if this investment is made. In comparison to other sports organizations in this town, Pequannock Little League has made significant commitments to this town council with our manager to make capital improvements to our facility. Not only do they benefit our league, they benefit the town's ability to rent our fields. In the last 7 years since I've been on the board and with other members of our organization, Pequannock Little League has invested over $100,000 of our own money and have never come to this council with their hand out expecting a dime for any projects that we have. We've presented our ideas and gotten your approval, but just for instance, new dugout last year at Washington Park 3 cost $52,000, and that was at a discounted rate that we were lucky to work with the contractor. New scoreboard at Washington Park 3, $14,000, total of just under $66,000 for that field alone. New turf in our batting cage about 4 years ago, $18,000. Reinforcing the structure of that batting cage, $7,000. New scoreboard at Washington Park 2, $11,000. And there are many more upgrades, but I think you get the picture. Like I said, I'm not looking here to say our facilities aren't good, but I am looking to help leave a legacy, and I think that our kids deserve that luxury. Like I said, we have 500 kids in this town. You all know this town. You've all lived in this town for quite some time, and now maybe even have grandkids in this town. So we're not just servicing 500 kids. We're servicing grandparents, we're servicing parents, and to go to other facilities and play and see your child play on these turf complexes, their eyes light up. It's the greatest thing they'll ever do. And I would like to continue to pursue that. So you can expect to see me a lot more in your meetings here. And I hope to partner with you guys so that we can continue to keep this in the budget. I know that, Ms. Lynch, I read on your profile, we've invested in our parks and you hope to continue to do so. Washington Park is a park in our town. So I know it's a recreational park, but I also do know that this council hasn't recently invested in a pickleball court, soccer nets, and basketball court, of significant value. So I hope that you would consider our proposal. And if you have any questions for me, I think some of you already have my phone number. I'd be happy to answer any of them. So I thank you for your time.
Okay.
Before you go,
Thank you so much.
I know we're not supposed to ask questions. Did you say you got a price?
We got a price about 2 years ago, probably outdated with inflation, but we could certainly pursue a couple.
What was that price?
$230,000. The first, as you know, with turf, comes with drainage, digging up the facility, curbs. It's a little bit more involved. Replacement, as you know from the high school, a little less involved. You're ripping up turf, but doing turf down. So, thank you. Appreciate your time, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anyone else for public comment? Yes, sir. Come on up.
Good evening. Good evening. John Vinus from Willwood Parkway. My wife and I are here tonight seeking some guidance and hopefully some help from you with a problem on Willwood Parkway, that being the traffic. People travel much too fast on Willwood Parkway. There's no posted speed limit, so we assume that the state law is that it's 25 by default. Willwood Parkway, as you know, is a divided highway. And I say highway because it is somewhat of a highway. It's 14 feet wide. In comparison, Franklin Avenue, which has the same speed limit, is 24 feet wide. So you have a very narrow roadway. You have garbage cans on one side. You have people parking on both sides. You have the middle island lined with trees and shrubs, so you don't get a lot of time to react to a child or a dog walker or a biker coming off the island. So our population, first of all, there is no sign. There is no sign at all as far as speed limit goes. Our population is very varied. We have a lot of elderly people on the street now. We have one gentleman who's disabled and rides around in one of those motorized buggies. We have a whole bunch of kids. The neighborhood is starting to change over. And as I said, we have a lot of dog walkers. It seems to be a favorite spot for the people to walk their dogs. So, again, our suggestion would be a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit posted and a speed bump. At the very end of Willroot, before you go into the cul-de-sac, because that's where people seem to realize that they don't have a way to get to the boulevard, and then they speed up, make the loop, and get back out because they're frustrated that that's not a cut-through street. So those are our suggestions. I mentioned the speed bump suggestion to Mr. Russo, and he shut it down without, it was borderline arrogant, the way he came across that. I can tell you right now, your chances of getting a speed bump are zero, nil, niche. It's not going to happen, which is a little bit, takes you back a little bit when you're a township resident for 40 years, and you kind of think that, it's a small town, you may be able to talk to somebody, and you get that kind of a reaction. So Again, I recognize this isn't an exchange tonight, but I'd like you to take into consideration some things that you can do for Wilbur Parkway before somebody gets hurt, and it's going to happen. So, thank you for your time.
Yeah, I appreciate it. The only, and like you said, there's no back and forth, but maybe we can talk about those signs like we've put around town, or the fact that's actually a dead end, and there's no dead end sign.
Technically,
Well, it's not a dead end. Yeah.
It loops.
Well, that's true, it loops. But maybe we can look at, one of those signs like, drive like your kids live here.
I think there are some of that signage is there, but I think the biggest thing you could do for us would be to drop the speed limit to 20 miles an hour and post it at 20 miles an hour, because there's no posting at all, but post it at 20 miles an hour. That would be huge. And then the potential of a speed bump, toward the end of the road, just to slow people down. So, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public comment on this round? Yes, come on up.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Paul Mailer. I'd like to read an open letter to my neighbors, if I may. There was a time in my life that I voted for Ronald Reagan, both Bushes, and even Chris Christie once. I came to challenge my conservative viewpoints, witnessing my Fortune 500 corporation engage in repeated layoffs, discontinued pensions, and ongoing cutbacks to health benefits. All of those actions were spurred not by business necessity, but by the Wall Street demand for short-term bottom-line growth every quarter of every year. I worked hard, earned a vice presidency, but I came to realize that those who followed me would work in an increasingly uneasy environment. Nothing I observed, however, compares to the sheer brutality and mental anguish brought upon federal workers under Elon Musk's Doge or Russell Vought's Office of Management and Budget. While Musk's authoritarian tyranny gets much of the attention, Vought's reign of terror goes largely unnoticed. Here's how Vogt speaks of Americans like you and me who happen to be part of the federal workforce, and I'll quote from him. "We want them to be traumatically affected. When they wake up in the morning, we want them to not want to go to work. We want to put them in trauma," end quote. Regardless your take on federal inefficiency, is this really the government that we want? Neither Musk nor Vogt concern themselves with a worker's performance or their dedication to good governance. They lump all into a pot of their unfettered disdain without a care for the intense anxiety imposed upon thousands of American families. If you stand with them, you must also admit to yourself that you share in their evident brutality. If you stand against them, the time to stand up is now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else for public comment? Seeing none, we're going to close this session. Mr. Brewer, can we say anything about the Wilbur? Oh, by the way, Matt, thank you for what you're doing for Little League. I know it's hard. I know it's parents, but thank you for what you did. I did it many moons ago, and I remember because we put up the batting cages back when I was there. So redid a bunch of stuff. So I know Little League spends a lot of money, and we thank them for that. So definitely take that under consideration with the parks. You would have any comments on that or the Wilbur Parkway request?
Well, Little League's a great partner to work with, and I look forward to continuing working with Mr. Ringen and the rest of the team. And as the year moves on, we'll talk about updating the budget and seeing what we can do for a request. Typically, they're due in October, so now's a good time to start the conversation, kind of get the numbers together. With respect to Wilbur Parkway, I'm going to follow up with Mr. Vinus tomorrow and have a conversation about what can and can't happen. I think one of the biggest issues is a lack of data. I know you have observation, but I think some empirical information would also be helpful, so we can get some counts and some speeds and try to figure out what's happening with the hidden box that's less obtrusive than the big thing. So I think there's definitely some work that we can do, but I want to gather some data first and then we can explore options. But I'll reach out to you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right, moving on to item number 8, the manager's report. Mr. Brewer, please.
Just ready to follow Mr. Vinus, so I don't forget between now and tomorrow. Thank you, Mayor. This evening, for the council's consideration, we have an ordinance to establish and preserve a cat bank, which we've talked about a little bit. Also, there's a number of concession resolutions scheduled for potential authorization that pertain to the late-night Tuesday food trucks in front of the municipal building, the concession provider for various parks and recreation events, and the concession operator at Pequannock Park Lake. It seems like some of an arduous process, but the local public contracts law requires it, so we do what we need to do to comply and continue to deliver some fun stuff for the community. And I credit the council with making the change to the concession operator at PV Park that continues to work. Lastly, there is also a resolution for the council's consideration to amend the professional services agreement with H2M for the professional services associated with the PFAS remediation project at wells numbers 1 and 2. It's a lot to chew on. As the council recalls from prior discussions, the township is making an application to the New Jersey iBank for funding for this. The benefit of applying to iBank are 50% of the total is at no interest. The second percent of the total is at the iBank's lower interest, and based upon the timing, you have up to $3 million potentially of principal forgiveness and sometimes $1 million. So there's no guarantee in what the principal forgiveness is, but there's a beneficial interest rate and the potential for principal forgiveness, which is what drove the decision to participate with iBank. The challenge is they have a lot of requirements, one of which is 100% inspection. And when you have 100% inspection by a professional, it's not inexpensive. As a component of the New Jersey iBank process, we're not allowed to go out to bid until they give us a green light. They've reviewed all our documents, everything is in queue. If this is approved, this has to be uploaded to the iBank portal, and the hope is after this is done, they will give us the approval to go out to bid. As further discussed, the goal was to have the bids opened and potentially available for award in July, because the fiscal year starts on July 1st for the iBank, so we'd like to be first in line for principal forgiveness. So we've tried to key this up to use as much external money as possible to save the ratepayers. So it's a lot to chew on, but again, it's something that's required if we want to continue with the iBank process. Unless there's any questions, that is my report.
Good. Thank you, Mr. Brewer. Any questions from council?
I'm good.
All right, next on the agenda is a public hearing on ordinance number 2025-01. Ms. March?
Ordinance number 2025-01 is an ordinance to establish and preserve a cap bank in accordance with NJSA 40A:4, 4514.
All right, are there any comments from council?
Nope.
Hearing none, is there a motion to open the public hearing?
I'll make a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance number 2025-01.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
If anyone in the audience has any questions or comments on this ordinance, please come to the microphone and identify yourself for the record. Seeing none, is there a motion to close the public
I'll
hearing?
make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there a motion? There you go. Is there a motion to adopt this ordinance?
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance number 2025-01.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Florence Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mrs. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Siracusa?
Yes.
Mayor Tracy?
Yes. All right, moving on, there are no ordinance scheduled for introduction at this time. The next item on the agenda item is resolutions. Ms. Marsh.
Beginning with Resolution R 2025-73, confirming the designated memberships in the Pequannock Township Fire Department. 2025-74, awarding a contract for a concession provider for various events of the Parks and Recreation Department to Empanada Times, Harper's Amusement, Jack's Kettle Corn, and Just a Little Something in accordance with the request for proposals. 2025-75, awarding a contract for a concession provider for food trucks on late Tuesdays, the second Tuesday of each identified month, to those vendors who submitted proposals in accordance with the request for proposals. 2025-76, awarding a contract for the concession operator for the Pequannock Valley Pequannock Valley Park Lake Concession Stand to Sean Leonardo, doing business as the Joshua Tree, for the total contribution amount of $2,751 in accordance with the request for proposals. 2025-77, authorizing the amendment of a professional services agreement and contract with H2M Architects and Engineers Incorporated for the Wells 1 and 2 PFAS treatment project. 2025-78, authorizing tax office refunds, overpayments, or cancellations, and R 2025-79, approving payment of the itemized claims as set forth on the February 7th, 2025 bill list.
Thank you. Are there any comments on the resolution from council?
Nope.
Hearing none, is there a motion to adopt these resolutions?
I'll make a motion to adopt Resolution 2025-73 through 2025-79.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Lawrence Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mrs. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Siracusa?
Yes.
Mayor Dracy?
Yes. Item number 12, there are no items for discussion tonight. Number 13, there's no reports or notices. The next item is council reports and announcements. Councilwoman Forrest Lynch.
Yes, first, congratulations to Axel King, our new junior firefighter. Just wanted to let everybody know the Railroad Museum will be open on Sunday, February 23rd from 12 to 3. So if you haven't visited the museum, it might be nice to stop by, bring your grandkids, your kids, what have you. It's a nice place to visit and learn some history. The next meeting of the Historic District Commission will be March 5th at 7 p.m. And the group also wanted me to thank the town and DPW for, I guess there was a little fix that had to be done, and they were doing some snow plowing there with the, for the February. In February, they were over there a couple of times because of the snow, and they were on top of everything. So they wanted to thank them and yourself for your response. What else? Economic Development Committee, they are meeting tomorrow here in this room at 7 p.m. They will have Brittany Orcutt coming. She's now working at the county for she works for the Economic Development. She's an Economic Development Specialist for the Morris County Economic Development Corporation and the Morris County Chamber of Commerce. So she's going to come into their meeting tomorrow, and they're going to do some collaborative work and see how they can work together. There is a grand opening on tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? No, I'm sorry. The Economic Development meeting is tomorrow, but the grand opening is March 1st for a business at 679 Route 23, and it's at 9 a.m. across from the Pompton Queen Diner in the Fire Plaza. Did you have the name of that?
Backyard Birding Store.
The Backyard Birding Store.
Yeah.
So
It's like seeds.
Yeah, everyone feel free to come out for that. They'll do a ribbon cutting. What else do I have? The seniors are having a bus trip to the Hunterton Playhouse on April 1st to see a show, I think it's called Swing, and you can sign up with Parks and Rec and get more details on that there. And then last but not least, I was just going to mention that Pequannock Valley Rotary is hosting a comedy night on Saturday, March 29th. And if you would like more information on that, tickets are $60. It's being held at the American Legion in Lincoln Park. That's it.
Thank you, Melissa. Councilman Cole.
All right, on 2/13, Pequannock Engine Company 2 met, and I reported at the budget meeting this past Saturday what they were asking for. Melissa Florence Lynch, myself, and Vince Siracusa attended the municipal budgeting class down this past Saturday in West Windsor. I sat next to a a woman from Lawrenceville, and she said, "Oh, is this your first year on council?" I said, "No, it's my 13th year." She says, "Well, I thought this was for newly elected officials," and my response was, "If I learned one thing from this class, it's worth coming down." So she was glad that it was not just for newly elected officials. Also, congratulations to Axel King for joining the fire department as a junior firefighter. Congratulations and thank you for wanting to get involved. And that's all I have. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, David. Councilwoman Russell.
Not a lot. First Aid is having a pasta and trivia night on Saturday, April 5th. It's going to be at the hall, and it's right in the back here, and it's $50 per person, and it's just one of their many fundraisers that they're doing. Also, Preservation Trust is meeting Thursday. We're going to finalize the legalities for the question that's going on the ballot in November to be able to use open space monies for stewardship. So that might be something that we could apply for a grant for. Going after it from the county open space money, because what they're saying is there's not a lot of open space and they have all this money they've been collecting. So it's going to vote whether that money can be used towards stewardship by different people in the counties. And there's going to be two different questions, but that would be something that I think we could keep an eye on, because that's definitely good stewardship of our parks. So that would be interesting. And other than that, I don't have anything else. I was sick, so I missed a lot of my committee meetings. I was out for about 4 weeks.
Good to have you back.
I'm almost 100%, but it takes a while. It really kicks your butt.
Mr. Mayor, there's one thing that I forgot.
Sure.
I got a flyer today from the high school wrestling team. They are having a fundraiser tomorrow at Jersey Mike's in the Stop and Shop shopping center. So if you do go, just mention the high school wrestling team. I think they get 25% of the proceeds. So.
Okay. Yep, Jersey Mike's
is it this Jersey Mike's or the Lincoln Park Jersey Mike's?
This Jersey Mike's. I was surprised to see that on the
Because,
flyer.
yeah, lately I've been seeing the Lincoln Park one always,
does well,
yeah.
But it's this one in Pompton Plains.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Syracuse.
Good evening. Sorry I'm not there because I'm under the weather. My committee's didn't meet since our last meeting. Next month. We had a good meeting on Saturday about the budget. Very enlightening. Congratulations to Kyle. And I just want to do a quick plug on the PBA Beach stage. If you haven't already gotten your tickets, you missed that one, so I'm afraid I have to order it for you.
I'm surprised Dave missed it.
Yeah, other than that, I have nothing significant to report.
All right, thank you, Vince. Hope you feel better soon.
They're up to 400 people attending. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. I don't have much. None of my committees met. I know there was a basketball game last Friday that I heard was pretty good. I was not able to attend for Luca at the high school, so that was nice. The school was able to put that on. Congratulations to Alex King on the fire department. That's awesome. The other thing I wrote down. Oh, the DPW with cleaning the roads. We've had a lot of snow this year. We haven't had this much snow in a long time, so I thank them for keeping everything clean and open so we can get around. And that's pretty much all I got.
Yeah, even the First Aid made a comment about that at their meeting, that they were very impressed with the way the DPW got these roads cleaned and ready to use.
Yep.
So they wanted to give them a shout out also.
Okay, so good. So,
sorry, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
I got one other thing.
Listen, your time is up, Cole. Enough.
I got a text message this morning that KC Bagels is participating in the Game On Gavin. That's Gavin Brady, that his cancer is back.
Yep.
He had a very early leukemia, and now it's back. He's a freshman in the high school. So this Friday, February 28th, KC Bagels will have orange bagels to support leukemia, and he will get 30% of the proceeds. So if you're interested in a bagel, stop by KC's Bagels and get an orange bagel.
Get an orange bagel. Yeah, that's a bagel. All right, thank you. Next on the agenda is public comment. As a reminder, we welcome comments, suggestions, and questions rather than dialogue, and comments are limited to 3 minutes. Please, if anyone wishes to address the council, please wait to be recognized, to come to the microphone, and provide your name for the record.
Sorry, I'm going to come back.
Sure.
So, Matt ringing again, sorry. One thing I forgot to, when I came back up, we are having Little League Opening Day with the parade, April 26th. That'll be the official opening day. The league will start some games before then just because of schedule and where spring break falls, but would love to obviously invite you guys again. We'll follow it up with a formal email, but would appreciate your attendance. And as for the stewardship item in open space, obviously Passaic and Morris County, their open spaces are different with recreation and land, I think is where what I've seen with Morris County's open space. But I did see that Morris County does allow for open space grants for what is considered a pathway, right? So the pathway down Washington Park, from the snack stand down to Washington 3, over the years has taken a beating just between electric, snow, trucks coming through there. So I don't know, even if they decline it for a park or for a field, if we can maybe pursue it for that pathway. Last year, I think me and Mr. Brewer, or maybe Mr. Spano, our former president, spoke to Mr. Brewer, and they were paving, what was that, Jefferson? Yeah.
Right behind the church.
Yeah, we talked about if there was any leftover asphalt, if they could perhaps swing by and kind of drop some, but I think that wasn't the case. That is something we're going to look to, because long run, we do want to put a structure behind Field 3 of some capacity, and we'll have to run electric down there. So ultimately, we may do it in the near future anyways, but if for whatever reason they deny it and say, hey, it's not can't be a recreational facility, that might be an avenue where if some funds can be allotted to it, that would be appreciated. So, all right, thank you.
Yep, thank you. Thank you. Anyone else?
There's somebody behind the post over there.
Come on up.
My name is Mary Kay Schmerman. I want to stand in solidarity with Paul Mahler's statement as a Pequannock Township resident. And I'm wearing yellow and blue in honor of Ukraine. And Ukraine was invaded by Russia, and Zelensky is not a dictator. Putin of Russia is a dictator. My next, they're questions, so I know there's not dialogue, but sometimes I'll ask a question and then get answers after I finish my question. My first question is, I had asked last year sometime about what is the role of council in once a person is council appoints a person to different committees, commissions, board of trustees, and then what is the role of council in terms of their problems with that particular person in the role of a liaison or something like that? And then is there a code of ethics written down for the people who are on the council, or how does that work? Has it been written down? So, and then my other question would be, I know John and Adam have talking about something for Barbara Muzio for the library, and I don't know if that discussion has taken place yet or not. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Any other comments? Seeing none, we'll close the public comment portion. Mr. Brewer, any comments?
Mayor, if it's all right with you, I'm going to punt to the attorney first.
Okay, punt to the attorney first.
Well, the one question that there is an answer to is whether or not there is a code of ethics that governs the governing body. There's a code of ethics that govern all local government employees. It's not local, it's through the state of New Jersey. So we do have a New Jersey state code of ethics for local government officials. And that is, again, not just unique to council people, that would be to all of us, myself included, all government employees are subject to that. So I needed to add that to it. In terms of the Barbara Muzio thing, I don't know what that's all about.
Yeah, I'll defer to John, and just to amplify what Mr. Usyk said, it's referred to as the local government ethics law. If you're Googling, that would be the Google thing to find that list of information.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Mayor, before you move on, I hate to do this because I know we already did reports, but can I say, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention one thing that I should have mentioned before. Am I allowed to mention it? We lost another firefighter in town, a longtime resident, Charles Polka. He was 96 years old, and I attended his wake on Friday, but he was a longtime member of Pequannock Fire Company too, and I just wanted to, say that, our thoughts and prayers are with his family. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you. That was important. Thank you for your service. Next on the agenda is minutes for approval. So we have the January 28th, 2025 regular meeting. I cannot vote on that. And then the February 5th, 2025 budget workshop meeting. So I guess we'll do them separately?
Sure.
So is there any comments from council on these minutes?
No, they look good.
All right, so is there a motion to approve the January 25th, 2025 regular meeting?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
I'm not saying anything.
Syracuse, are you an aye? I think you fell off.
I am an aye.
You were an aye. Okay, is there a motion to approve the February 15th, 2025 budget workshop meeting?
I'll make a motion to approve the February 15th workshop meeting.
Okay, so is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I voted on that one. Anybody opposed? Okay, good. Next on the agenda is closed session. Is there a motion to approve resolution authorizing the Township Council to meet in executive session to discuss matters of attorney-client privilege?
So moved.
Is there a second? I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? At this time, the public portion of the meeting is recessed for closed session.